girls do we have in the audience tonight? This song right here goes out to each and every single one of you. So if you're ready, we're going to do it. There's a lot of ways of saying what I want to say to you. There's songs and poems and promises and dreams that might come true. But I won't talk of stars, skies, and moonlight on the ground. Well, I'll come right out and tell you I just love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay you down and tell you all the things my woman loves to hear. I'll let you know how much it means having you around. And oh darling, how I'd love to lay you down.
So many ways your sweet love made this house into a home. You've got a way of doing little things that turn me on. Like standing in the kitchen in your faded cotton gown, with your hair all up in curlers, I still love to lay you down.
Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Down and tell you all the things my woman loves to hear. I'll let you know how much it means having you around. And oh darling, how I'd love to lay you down. Now when a whole lot of December are showing in your face, your auburn hair has faded and silver takes its place. You'll be just as lovely and I'll still be around. And if I can, I know that I'd still love to lay you down. Lay you down and softly whisper pretty love words in your ear. Lay you down and tell you all the things my woman loves to hear. Well, I'll let you know how much it means having you around. Oh darling, how I'd love to lay you down. Oh darling, how I'd love. Oh, darling, how I love to lay you down. Thank you, Conway.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am now proud to introduce to you the one, the only.
I am the God and the devil around you, around you, around you, around you, around you. I am the God and the devil around you, around you, around
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Goddesses and Devils. Just so you guys know, we just want to give you some house rules. This show is for a mature audience. So please be respectful in the comments. And if you guys want to call in, call right in. But please, like I said, be respectful. We will not tolerate any forms of harassment, abuse, or name calling in the chats nor on the actual call. So, for your enjoyment purposes, let's all keep it fun. So, tonight's actually going to be really, really exciting. We have two really, really inspirational women on tonight. I followed them a few weeks back on Facebook, and just hearing the things that they speak about and the things that they express is really, really phenomenal. And I really, really am grateful that they're taking the time to come on Goddesses and Devils and share their journey with you guys tonight. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you all to my friends. Okay, so we have Jacqueline and we have Christina. So you can actually catch them on Mystic Sisters of the Desert. They have their own Facebook information they can give out to you as well, where you can contact them and enjoy all the things they have to offer. So hello, ladies.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, we're so excited. That's the dog. That is not us.
It's okay. Listen, here on Goddesses and Devils, we love everything, whether it be animals, people, trees, you name it, we love it all. So if he wants to jump on in and get on camera, that's fine with me.
Oh, he probably will at some point. He's napping and he's like, "You're disturbing my peace."
I'm sorry
Okay.
down there. So, you guys, like I said, you guys have been a real inspiration to many. You guys help people in their spiritual journeys, as well as with other things that unfortunately, a lot of times what happens in life, people go through hardships and they really don't know how to attend to those hardships. So a lot of times they wind up getting disgruntled or upset about it. And what you ladies offer, you actually offer them a way through coaching, through healing, through guidance, a doorway where they can just walk right through and start all over again if they want to. And it's all about their self, right? They have to be self-motivated, yes, but you also give them that motivation and guidance that sometimes, like I said, is really, really hard to find because, like I said, when we go through certain things in life, it's, we're in a dark place sometimes, and you guys are the light for these people. So I really do, like I said, I really find you guys inspirational, and I can't wait to hear about your guys' journey. So whoever wants to get started.
Right on.
You can start first.
Okay. Where exactly should I start?
So why don't you explain how you help people? What do you do, and how did you get involved in this type of healing?
Okay. Well, I guess start of the beginning. If me and Jacqueline, we've grown up always kind of believing and felt like there was more to the world than what normal people see, our parents saw, but we were always told, no, you didn't see anything, or
Go back to bed.
Go back to bed, so starting from there, I mean, we didn't really know much other than there is more out there. There is spirit, there's ghosts and stuff, but a few years ago, we went to Sedona with our grandma's ashes, and we took a journey to Bell Rock, right? Bell Rock?
Yeah, it was hard. Vortex.
Yeah, we wanted to go to the Vortex area, and I had kind of gotten into crystals and stuff, and I had a pendulum that I'd never used. I bought it because I was like, this looks cool, and I bought it. So we brought all that stuff up there with us. We did the hike. I mean, it was blood, sweat, tears.
I do not hike, you guys. I am chubby. It is horrible. I don't like the heat. It was July.
Yeah, it was hot.
I think, wasn't it July?
Yeah, something like that.
Hot as friggin' hell, you guys.
And a hard, it was
It was
hard. A little hard, especially for Jacqueline. But so we got up to as far as we could with the vortex, and we sat there, we meditated, put our crystals out with Grandma and stuff, and I don't know. Ever since that day, it was just
tattoos.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. It blew the door wide open, and it was like, oh, this is what we're supposed to do. And after we came back down off the mountain, we found a tattoo shop that actually takes red Sedona dirt from the vortex areas in Sedona, and he makes it into an ink. So he sterilizes it, makes it safe, and turns it into ink to use. So we got matching tattoos. And Jack,
you guys probably can't see, but it looks like it's like henna.
Yeah,
Here,
it almost looks like henna. And we got matching lotus flowers.
It's
from
super light.
Bell Rock.
No, they're beautiful. I actually noticed there were lotus flowers. They're beautiful. I think that's awesome. They look good.
Thanks. So after that, we just started kind of, working on growing our psychic abilities, because then we started using the pendulums that we got and using them to communicate with our grandmother we took to Bell Rock with us, and then our other grandma, because we lost both our grandmas within, I think, the same year, right?
I don't know. I think it was within a year or two we lost both. And what's really weird is the grandma that I was closest to always helped Christina. And then my other grandma that I was somewhat close to, she lived out in Arizona off and on, she chose to help me. So whenever we had a lot of things going on or we were practicing our pendulum, we each had our own grandma that would help us. They'd pop in from time to time. I'd see like her little shadow pinking out, like little, I swear my bathroom is like a vortex, and I'd see like a little head peek out. I'm like, hi, Grandma.
Yeah. So then, we started practicing and getting better and better. And we brought in oracle cards, because those have really good positive messages. Yeah. And it was something that was a little bit easier to read than tarot. So, from there we helped friends, we helped family that were interested in it, because not all of our family is into all this.
No, but some are actually starting to get into what we do now. Yeah. Like we had something going on family-wise, and I sent them something like, try this and it'll help you, just have faith. And they actually did it. And my dad's family is very churchy, I guess you could say, and they're not really into this, but it blew my mind that they actually tried it. It worked. And they believe in what we do now, and it blows their minds. They're like, you know what? You are talking to past loved ones. You are talking to spirit. You guys know what you're doing. And it's cool to see that his family that's very, like we said, churchy, religious, kind of accept what we do. In the beginning, I don't think they did. But now they do, and it's really beautiful.
Well, it's people unfortunately have been misguided in a lot of the things that has been said when it comes to religious beliefs and things like that. Based on research, history, anybody can find this information. Before there was Christianity and things like that, there was paganism. There was anything that was pretty much a form of the Catholic belief was considered paganism right after the rise of Christianity. So we see this, where we start seeing, if we look back in history, where practices like this, whether it be, rituals, whether it be spells, whether it be activations, things that were generally used for good things. I mean, yes, you have your people who practice things in a darker sense of things, but majority of the population actually practice any type of white magic or light work, we'll call it, light work in a sense, with religion in their heart. So meaning, like, they believe that there is a creator, they believe there's a God, they believe there is Mother Earth, they believe in all this, and they all agree that this is a very much a part of their defined ascension, where they ascended to the divine, where they took their beliefs, their spiritual needs, and they reconnected with self, reconnected with their soul, and started ascending to a higher self. And so there's a lot of misconceptions out there. Yes, there is things that you can do that would be more on a negative, but that's really up to the practicer. If the person practicing wants to go that route, they can. But a lot of it is for the better of things. It's for good. It's for cleansing the earth, activating. I recently saw an activation of a moon, and I was like, well, what's the activation of a moon? What does that mean? Because I'm not new to spiritualism. I'm new to other things. So I'm new to learning how things work, in a sense. How different people operate, how different people choose to use their abilities. And she was actually doing a moon activation, it's called. And when I really started understanding what it is, it was really a beautiful thing. It really is. It's something that is made to cleanse, to spiritually cleanse. Sorry, I'm just super excited. Like I said, it's something that's used to spiritually cleanse as well as cleanse yourself, your soul. So it's really a phenomenal thing when you do it. But like I said, and that's probably what you guys experience, in your earlier stages of your spiritual journey, is some of that feedback where it's like, well, people that do this and this and that is considered evil. No, that's not how it is.
It was rough when we first started. We did our Facebook lives and we were helping people, and people share those videos all over, and we got so many haters in the beginning. They're like, you're doing the devil's work, you're not talking to spirit, you're messing people up, you're ruining their life. And once you get rid of those negative people, we actually we have beautiful mystic mods that are on our page that if someone starts that negative vibe, just boot and ban them. And then it's cool because you get to see and teach all these beautiful people all these things. And once you get rid of those negative people, it's like a completely different vibe. So if people want to say, you're doing devil's work, whatever, that's on you. What we do, it's okay. It's not bad talking to spirit. It's not bad doing light work and doing spell work and things like that. It's about your intent and why you're doing it. And I wish more people understood that. But I think that people are finally awakening and being acceptable about everything that we do, everything that you do. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Right, because when people use different methods of this. People use yoga, they use meditative music, they use crystals, they use pendulums. They use so many different ruins. Even they use so many different ways and items and tools to pretty much do all the same thing. It's about promoting healing. It's a therapeutic sense of it. We're trying to heal ourselves. And when we're doing these things, what we're literally doing is taking all that negative that we have inside our hearts, inside our minds, and we're releasing it, and we're letting it go, and we're allowing the positive to flow in. And that's exactly what it is. It's pure positive energy exchange, and that's what we're trying to do. I don't really I really don't practice a lot of those things. It's not that I'm not into it or I haven't had a chance to do it. It's just that I don't feel that I'm at that level yet to start practicing that fully. So I'm still on a journey, right? So when you're on a journey, it's also the level of comfortability, meaning that just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because somebody is doing it this way doesn't mean you have to do it that way. This is not an occult. This is not something that's forced. This is something that you do to better yourself, humanity, open communications in a loving, caring, and, like I said, a therapeutic way where you're coming together with one clear thought, and that is to better humanity, better the environment, better everything that's going on in the world that can be considered chaotic, and just swing it so that it becomes a positive. Unfortunately, not, like I said, not many people see that because of so many misconceptions within the religious world that they say that things are evil. Well, the way I look at it too is if you read into the Bible or if you've been to church, there was prophets and things like that, and they would receive messages from the passed on who was
all the time.
right, exactly, and then they would use that and they would put it towards their religious belief and say, well, thou shalt not do this. Well, why not? Who said that's not okay? Well, God said that's not. Well, who's God? Well, he's this entity. Well, who's this entity? Can I see him? Can I feel him? Is he right here? Can I meet him? No. It's your faith. It's your belief. It's your willingness to understand that there is a divine entity that can help you, that can relieve it. That is your faith. That's what you put it in. And when you're doing spiritual work, you're doing it in that sense. You're doing it in the divinity. You're not doing it in the negative. So, I mean, growing up, I've had a lot of backlash from, people around me, my family. Oh, she's evil. Oh, she's a this. Oh, she's that. Oh, she likes witches. She likes black cats and Halloween and all this crazy stuff. She likes crystals. She likes all this stuff. And this is, mind you, when I was I started liking this stuff when I was 5. I kid you not, 5. I started liking all this stuff. I started loving Halloween, and it was The Worst Witch. I don't know if you guys remember The Worst Witch, Mildred Hubble.
I don't.
It's a cute show, and what it is this troubled little witch who can't get anything right, but she winds up saving everybody from these bad witches. And it's well, she's a good witch, right? So there's good witches out there. They're not always bad. They're not always green with big noses and flying broomsticks. I'm sorry. When I was little, I tried flying on a broomstick. That didn't work out for me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, we have to really understand that with a lot of these things, there's a lot of it where it can be, misunderstood. And no, witches don't ride around on broomsticks. They don't do none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
They're not floating in the air.
Yeah, they're not levitating.
Hey, don't burst my bubble. Come on.
Yeah,
I have high hopes to one day fly on my broom.
You know what I really wanted to do? That umbrella trick from Practical Magic. That I would have
Yes.
That I would have liked. And just float down. I would have loved that. But I mean, realistically, you have people that actually go out and try it because they don't understand that some things are a reality, other things are not. Energy is a reality. We can see energy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've explained this to my viewers, and I've tried this before. Do you know how you have you use it to test the car batteries, and it's like a little
the rods.
They're rods. Yeah, and then you could see how much electricity is coming over, but it's actually attached to a machine, a little meter, and the meter will tell you, and electricians use it, right? But yeah, you can use dowsing rods as well, because dowsing rods, what they do, they pick up on kinetic energy, which is pretty much static, things like that. Mm-hmm. We have that. We are conduits, so we constantly have that flowing through us. So when we're angry, that's why it's so easy for us to walk in a room and make a whole room angry just by our actual, persona, our actual body language. We can transfer that energy and that feeling just by the way we move and the way we articulate, and that's exactly what it is. You're swinging that, and you're taking that positive energy, and you're shifting
and your aura. I don't know. Do you know about auras, how they change when you're angry?
Yes.
They're spiky. So when someone's really pissed off around you and you kind of get that whoa, man, that vibe is totally off, it's because they're literally penetrating your aura with their little spikes everywhere.
Right, and that's what it is. It's like they're able to leech on, and then all of a sudden you're mad, and you don't even know why you're mad. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the power of energy. I actually have
selenite everywhere.
Yeah, my sister, she's big into crystals, so she literally every Christmas, every birthday, whatever it is, she sends me selenite. She sends me all different things. Most of these bracelets here, my sister gave me this one. Stacy gave me this one. My sister Faith gave me this one. My husband gave me the evil eye, and then my husband gave me the obsidian and the petersite. So, when we use stones and that's, you guys work with crystals, right?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, so
it makes your life different. It really helps. Like if you have anxiety, I wear howlite all the time, either on a bracelet or on a necklace. And people, I used to be the type, I would make fun of Christina, you guys. Like she would wear an amethyst. Before I got into this, I was a very angry person. A lot of people are like, I can't see you being angry. I'm like, no, like I was really negative. And I tell Christina, I'm like, you really think that stone is doing anything to help you? She's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, you're fucking stupid. There's no way that is helping you. But once we got into spiritualism and I got into crystals, I was like, damn it, she was totally right. The vibe is totally different. They work.
right, and they have their own energy, right?
Yeah, and I took I am trained in crystal healing, angelic healing, and quantum Reiki healing, and they all talk about crystals. And I learned that every crystal has a being inside of it. Whether that is, some people claim it's a fairy, some people claim it's like spirit type energy. And when you program that crystal, or like you're healing with it and you're like, oh, thank you, crystal, for helping me. Thank you for removing all this negative energy. You actually amplify that crystal to do more for you because you are speaking to it. It's a being. It's not just a rock like people claim it is.
Is that the same way that crystal skulls work?
Every crystal has something in it, so I would say yes. And there are some like crazy looking ones out there. They have like skulls with like little horns and stuff. Some people are kind of turned off by that, but it doesn't mean it's negative. It's all about your intent and what you put into it and how you use it.
Exactly.
Do you have any?
I know that
I dropped the big wow face because it's funny you said crystal skulls, because I actually have 4 of them.
Nice.
Oh my God.
We're meant to be like twins. I don't know. We always say the same thing.
Just another thing about crystals is, say you've got like rose quartz or whatever crystal in it, it's got a certain color to it. So, just rose quartz is like pink. When negative energy comes, when you're wearing a crystal, sometimes what will happen is it will take that crap. Is it still going? Okay. Yeah. You guys froze for a minute. Sometimes it'll take the hit of negative energy for you and it'll actually change colors, or it will break. And when that happens, that's just, I guess,
when it breaks, its done.
Job is done. It's
they
done
die.
its job for you. So at that point, you can either thank it and bury it back into the earth, or thank it and set it aside and
it's not going to work
as
the
good.
same.
Yeah, it won't be the same. So pay attention to the colors of your crystals, because sometimes...
Tell her about our client that sent us a picture.
Yeah.
It blew our mind.
She had, I think, jade or green aventurine. So, a light green color is what the pendant started out to be. It was like a light green. And then she worked in a very negative space. And I forget how long after, but she took another picture.
A few weeks, I think.
It was like black. It was nasty, like...
Blew our mind. We're like, what the hell?
Yeah. So crystals, they can definitely change. It's pretty wild.
I know I've got amethyst as my crystals.
Amethyst is amazing, and it helps with... do you know about what it does with your sleep? It is the best crystal. It helps with insomnia. Nightmares. It fights nightmares. It protects you while you sleep. A lot of spirit want to bug you when you sleep, and it's because your subconscious mind comes forward and your conscious mind goes to sleep. Your subconscious mind believes every single thing that is happening in your room. People that have night terrors, I promise you guys, it's not just... A lot of us, it's not just night terrors. It's spirit bugging you. I have suffered from night terrors horribly when I moved into our one house that was really, I want to say it was really haunted. My husband never really felt anything, but I always felt stuff. And I developed those night terrors and found out from someone, hey, you're a medium, you want to learn your gift as soon as possible. And I tried it and I was like, hell no, this is scary. I'm done. We ended up moving out of the house and I still had night terrors until I learned my gift. Now I rarely have them.
That's interesting. I use amethyst for anxiety.
It does help anxiety. It helps calm you. Lepidolite too. That one's a nice purple. But amethyst is almost like a go-to. There's like a handful of go-to crystals for everything, like tourmaline for protection and calming.
Clear quartz.
Clear quartz is a master healer. It'll help you with everything, anything, all of your chakras. It will help balance and align them.
It also amplifies other crystals around it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But lepidolite, that one is a great one for anxiety because it has natural lithium in it. So when you rub it, then you get that natural lithium.
It's what Indians use.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm pretty sure Indians did that. So that one and pink tourmaline, I believe, also has natural lithium in it as well. And that would be a good one. But amethyst that's one of my favorites for sure.
They said amethyst and aquamarine is my birthstone, but I find myself more drawn to Petersite. And they said that with Petersite, it helps many healers in their energy work, but it also activates and balances the third eye chakra, the solar plex chakras, and it's kind of like what people say, and it's been quoted that people have said it before, and I believe this is through somebody who actually studied Petersite, that the Petersite is what people call the keys to heaven because it opens up your third eye immensely. And when I found Petersite, it was by accident. And it was a crystal skull, and I was watching this show that my sister shared with me. My sister always shares a bunch of shows, and I'm like, what are you showing me now? Stop bothering me.
Is it Stacy?
It's Stacy, yeah. And I'm like, why are you bothering me, man? Because, like, she knows that I'll go and I'll, like, look at it because she knows me. You know what I mean? So she'll send it to me. And all of a sudden I'm looking at it, and literally, like, a light bulb just, like, popped. And I was just like, I need this. This is calling to me. I don't even know why, but I want it. I felt such a strong connection to this one crystal, well, it's a gemstone, but one crystal skull, and it was a Petersite skull. And I have no clue why. It's just, it just kept calling to me. And I didn't care how much it was. It could have been $500. I was getting it. I didn't care. And I went to my husband, and my husband was like, what do you need? I was like, I'm sorry to bother you, but I need money. He was like, what? He was like, what?
Money now.
Yeah, he was like, what? He's like, what do you want? I was like, oh, well, I want this crystal. He's like, okay, whatever you want.
Aww.
Yeah, he spoils me. He gives me whatever I want. And so he was like, but normally he would make fun of my sister. He's like, you're buying more rocks. He's like, I could go in the backyard and find plenty of rocks for you if you really want them.
It's not the same. Well, I mean, it kind of is. And I'll tell you this crazy story. When we got into our journey, we would pendulum and everything. I only had a few crystals. I want to say Christina was there. I have this backyard with these like really crappy white rock. Okay, they're not pretty. I've been out this door like 100 times, and when we were done penduluming with my spirit guides and practicing, I open up the door. And there is this little friggin' perfect square rock that's smooth, completely black. And I was like, where did this come from? All my rocks are like white with little black speckles. And Christina, she channeled my spirit guides, and they said it's a gift from us from heaven. And I was like, no way. Like, where did this freaking rock come from? And I keep it in my little, what is it? I have a little setup, so I always keep it out during it. And your spirit guides will give you special rocks and crystals if you pay attention. I think they did it for Christina as well, didn't they?
At when we went to Jerome.
What did you find?
Black rock.
I don't know what it is with the black rocks, but
Protection.
yeah, Jerome is crazy though. I don't if you guys have ever been there.
Yeah.
That energy is insane. It is so strong, so potent. They have positive energies, but there's a lot of negative, and we got really nauseous over there. It was rough.
I was just gonna
Take my crystal and cut a bit.
Amanda and I had a conversation just recently about black onyx.
Mhm.
I have 3 stones that attract me. Ruby, because it's my birthstone. Freshwater pearl, which is not a stone.
Ooh.
Well, it's kind of a stone, but anyway, it's a gem rather than a crystal. Onyx, or onyx, or black onyx specifically. And what was the other one? Moonstone.
Moonstone
yes.
is so beautiful, and it does so many things, especially for female energy. It is a great crystal for females to have.
The other thing is too is that my home state in Australia actually produces some of the largest world's largest mines of opals.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
A significant meaning as well.
I love it. Have you ever felt with the onyx, your guides bring up the gem jet? Have you ever like held one of those?
Mm-mm.
I guarantee, look into getting jet, because when you were talking, it kept popping up into my head. Jet is like a really, really deep black, but when you pick it up, it literally feels like nothing. You would think that it weighs like a lot, but you pick it up and you're like, what the heck? This has 0 weight to it. Look into that for you. For whatever reason, I keep getting that for you.
The only black onyx that I have is black onyx with emerald.
Ooh.
So
You have to show me a picture when you're done. I want to see.
Oh, I will. Just find it first.
Blast up that chat. I love crystals.
But for some reason, freshwater pearl, I wore that for many, 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 many years. And of course, a lot of because freshwater pearl is known for purity, humility, and harmony. And so it's also used to ward off psychic attacks as well, along with ruby. Ruby is also used for that as well.
Ruby's beautiful. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the do not disturb on my phone. There we go. Sorry.
I'm like, what are you doing?
It's okay. It's okay. I had to do the same thing.
You have to like thumb it just the right way. You got to stroke it just right.
But well, with
it's her audience. What?
it's okay. Trust me. Listen, when we get into our taboo topics, you'll love being with us for that one. Because we funny stuff. We had a whole conversation about linguistics and do we really know the true meaning of the things we're saying? And yeah, I mean, to go back to that, because it was actually a really fun show.
Dude.
What did I call myself? A camel's vagina?
Oh my god, like camel toe?
Dude.
Well, because the word dude, Katie, you tell them.
The word dude, isn't that a hair in an elephant's butt? Is that what you're gonna say?
I never knew that until Katie told me. And also, it can be a camel's penis, right?
Yeah, it's a camel's penis or a foreskin on a camel.
I'm going to start calling everyone dude. And then I'm going to picture that now. And be like,
that's exactly what I said. I said from now on when I get mad. I said from now on when I get mad, I'm just going to call everybody dude because I can get away with it. I can get away with it everywhere. If my teacher gets me mad, I'm just like, dude, really?
Whatever, dude.
You know what I mean?
I'm secretly calling you a camel's foreskin.
Yeah.
I love it.
And the thing is, Katie was like, do you know what a dudette is? I was like, wouldn't that make me a camel's vagina? And she was like, no, Amanda, no. Like, I don't know. I thought it was like, a male and female version of it.
is that dude is formerly known as, you know, an attractive man or someone that's well dressed, right? But then there are also other meanings to this word, and it can also mean that, well, obviously, of the obvious, what you just mentioned, a hair on a camel's, on an elephant's butt, and it has to be infected, by the way. So you might as well just call them an infected camel.
Gross.
No.
So, and then of course you've got the camel's foreskin or the camel balls or the camel genitals. So at that point, you might as well just translate food to dick.
That is so
And then, of course, you've got also what people don't know is that when a man calls another man dude is also a way of saying that I'm attracted to you.
Oh.
So all those guys out there
right.
to each other,
Never knew.
completely wrong.
That's awesome.
It's cool though, like learning. And another thing I learned is if a woman wears an anklet, it means that your husband is okay with you swinging with other couples. And I was like, what the heck? No way. I always wore anklets. My husband's like, yeah, you don't want to wear those anymore.
Yeah, there was a long debate about that about a decade ago, maybe, about the, you know, those rubber wristbands.
Yes, we wore them all the time. They
You
each
had
mean like
more partners.
blow job and
Yeah.
so dumb. Kids did not wear it because of that. I remember my mom bringing it up. I want to say it was on the radio. My mom was like, stop wearing those bracelets, because we used to wear them all up our freaking arm.
Yeah, you remember? Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. I like them. I still wore them. I was like, whatever, I don't care. Believe what you want.
Yeah.
They need to bring them back. They're bringing back all the old stuff. Bring back the jelly bracelets.
Fanny packs.
They are back.
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing freaking fannies.
I wear a fanny pack.
Oh yeah, high five to that, man.
I love them. I do. I'm not gonna lie.
You know
They're
what?
helpful.
Me wearing a fanny pack is probably me when I'm 80. But me right now, my pocketbook is my bra.
Yes, your bra. Just be careful with your phone. I had a coworker. She always had her phone in her bra, and she went and got, I don't know if it was, she basically, they said like, hey, we need to test you for breast cancer. Something's not right. And they did was it an MRI? But it showed a growth in the shape of her phone, you guys. And
Wow.
they said, do you put your phone in your bra? And she's like, yeah, that's my purse. And yeah, she had to go through all these treatments because she ended up developing breast cancer from having her phone in her bra.
I don't recommend phones in the bras, but anything else, yeah, go ahead.
Crystals, oh my God, yes. Especially by your heart. I feel it amplifies them.
It's a great place for, but do not forget that they are there when you take your bra off, because otherwise
They go bouncing and
they
breaking.
will go everywhere. And especially if it's something like selenite that's really fragile, it's gonna break and shatter, and you're gonna be like, no, I've done that so many times. Or if you're lucky, it gets stuck to your boob, and then you can, you know.
You lift it up.
You're
Oh,
like,
shit.
oh, shit. Thank God I got stuck, you know.
Thanks, Brooksette.
Question: where on earth do you report a selenite rod that big?
Right here, right in the middle. I've done
Yes.
it.
Oh.
Yeah, it fits perfect.
But it doesn't like water, so if you're gonna be sweaty, don't wear it.
Yeah, I heard that. It disintegrates in water.
So they claim it does. I do a lot of crystal cleansing baths, and I've had a selenite chunk, and it's not smooth like this. It's like the rough one, like the sticks.
Natural.
And I have had that bad boy in that tub for hours, at least 12 times, and it has not disintegrated at all. So I think it takes a really, really long time for it to truly do it.
Right, because
But
I was
really
thinking
good in
maybe
the
with salt water, you know, like salt water, because salt water is corrosive. So I was like, oh, well, maybe they mean just salt water. They're like, no, any water. Keep it away from water. And I'm
I
like,
use Epsom salt in my bath and the Himalayan salt, and it's still there. Maybe if you like kept it in there for like weeks or something in water, I would say yes.
maybe.
But I don't think it's as fragile as like people warn you about it with the water stuff.
Yeah.
right, because I know a lot of stones, people use water to charge them. I know with the petersite you could do that. I know with onyx you could do that. Clear quartz you could do that. You could also use the moonlight to charge them, selenite to help charge them. I mean, there's different ways, and people use different methods. I like to cleanse them in sage, and then I'll charge them in the water or leave them in the moonlight. Or the sunlight even. I like the sunlight. Not many people like the sunlight because they say, oh, well, it changes the stone's color. Well, I like the sunlight.
Depends.
Yeah. Like, if it's a real
Some are
stone.
okay. Some will dim down. Is it amethyst one? I want to say.
Amethyst starts to turn like more like citrine.
Oh, I thought it turned like white.
What is that beeping?
It's your house. I don't know. We keep hearing this weird beep. What is that?
I don't know. Never heard it before.
I love it. Oh, it's her toy.
Oh,
It's probably spirit. They're like, hey, you guys aren't channeling anybody today.
this one.
That's and that's the thing. It's like, when we hear, like I was saying, we hear a lot of these things and these rumors, we'll say, or fibs or stretching the truth when it comes to any type of anything. So why wouldn't people understand that to be so with things like spiritual work? When I tell people, because Katie knows a lot about me, but not many people do. But I actually am considered a psychic medium. I can channel, I can communicate with spirit, I could do tarot, I could do pendulums, I could do plenty of things. But like I said, I'm just not comfortable putting myself out there, only for the simple fact is I feel like it's weird. I feel like with me personally, I should only do it when I'm needed, not when I'm wanted. And that's what I was told.
That's okay.
A
lot of mediums are like that.
Yeah, and the thing is that like when I meet people like you guys and the other my other friends that happen to have similar abilities, it makes me feel more confident in myself, because a lot of it is people don't understand. It's really hard to come out to the world and say, hey, listen, you know what, I communicate with dead people. Because people look at you like you have so many psychological issues going on that It's like, well, there's something wrong with you then. Well, no, there's not. Maybe there's something wrong with you.
You're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You're not talking
or they
to
want
spirit.
like proof. Well, what's the code word? What's the code word then? It's like,
we hate that.
I don't
Right.
I don't get that.
With spirit, they don't. So many think that they talk like you and I. And I actually tell my clients before every single reading, I say, I just want you to understand, spirit does not talk like you and I. They will give us vibes. They will give us our memories to bring up to relate to that client. They will give us pictures and movies. Most of the time, I don't even see their body. I just see like a dark figure standing there, and I'll get like a sense of, oh, okay, he's smiling. He's like a big Papa Bear. Sometimes we get spirit where we call them down and they're like, you're getting me out of my happy place to come talk to. I don't want to be there. And we'll tell our clients and they're like, oh my God, that's exactly how he was. He never wanted to leave his comfy spot. It takes a lot to do what people like us do. Never let people tell you like, oh, well, I need proof, or I don't believe you. That's on them. We're just messengers, and you have to tell your people that if they don't believe you. Just say, all right, well, I'm just letting you know because this is a message from heaven. This is a message from your loved one, and you can take it or you can just ignore it. That's on them. Never be scared to use your gift, because when you're scared, and this goes for everyone, there's so many that are scared to come out publicly and help people. When you do that, you don't grow your gift as well. If you are like, you know what, I'm going to kick ass, I'm going to keep doing this, the more you practice, the stronger your gift will become. I think that you should start, helping people more and who cares what other people think? You're
what
amazing.
it is the worry of being wrong. The worry of saying what comes to you, but then like you say it and they're like, well, I don't connect with that, or that doesn't make sense. And that's the part that's like,
it kind of knocks you
I
down
don't
a
wanna-
peg, and you're like,
I don't want to be wrong, man.
but later they'll bring up the reading to someone like a family member, and we get this all the time. The family member understands, and they're like, oh my God, I have to tell you about like a story. It makes sense. And then they come back to us and they're like, oh man, I'm sorry. I get it now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes the messages are meant for others.
Yeah.
Right. And see, and my thing is like, I'm not afraid in a sense to be wrong. And I'm not necessarily, I'm really a bold person. I'm really confident in a lot of things. And I'm the type of person that like, like right now I'm super excited because you guys are on, and I'm so happy you guys are on. I really am. Like I was telling you, I've been looking forward to this. I was even telling Kay, like, I'm super, super excited. I don't know why. I sound like a little kid, but I really am. You know what I mean?
I want to hug you.
Yeah, like, no, me too. And it's like, it's amazing because it's like when you can relate to somebody and you could, yes, that's how I feel. It just feels so amazing because you have so much, and that's what people don't understand. We have so much negative out there. And, when you finally find the people that, or the group or individuals that accept you, it feels so much better. It feels great. And like, I'll use
fuzzy.
Yeah, exactly. You feel comfort. You feel like, okay, I can be me. And people don't understand that when we can't express ourselves this way, because it's more fear of what societal judgment would come on us if we say, especially as being moms or professional care workers or whatever we may do. You know what I mean? And then we, it's like, I actually was in the medical field for a very long time, and I worked with a lot of patients, and I would know when they're like ready or almost ready to go, not because the machines were saying so. This is days before the machines, but I know, I could feel it. I could sense the.
It's like a tap. You do.
Yeah, and I could feel it, and it was so horrible because I would, these people would come over to me, oh, they're doing great today, and I'm just like, yeah, just wait for a couple more days. You know what I mean? And it's like, and you feel like a shithead for saying it, but you know it. And in a sense, you got to kind of prepare yourself because you're just as attached to them as, their loved ones can be. And that's my biggest flaw. I care too much. I really do. Like, I put my heart into everything that I do. I wear my heart in my sleeve. I could be a jerk. I could be an asshole. I could be a mean person. I really can. I really want to, but that's not who I choose to be and not who I want to be. So when people don't understand, when you have a lot of this going on in yourself, it also doesn't feel great to be you and have these gifts, and because you're afraid of what people would say. So me, coming from a psychology background, I've had an extensive training in this and understanding of labeling and stereotypes and all that negative stuff, that I was able to kind of adjust my behavior and my attitude. But not everybody can, so they really feel so trapped in their self, and it's not, it's not a nice thing. It's really not. And I think it's more along the lines that because when you have all this stuff going on, more worrying about
Or video.
or they do, or people are, or how people are going to judge.
It's a happy birthday, Jack.
Sorry, no, I was just getting a message on my phone that that people are unable to hear the live feed, and that's all.
Okay, for those who can't hear the live stream, it's fine. I'm recording everything, so I'm going to put it up a little later tonight. It's fine.
Cool.
It's always difficulties.
Just go with the flow.
Yeah, we'll make an announcement. It happens. It happens.
We got too many intuitives in the same thing, and our energy will jack up. I am a technology killer, you guys. It's horrible.
Well, I do that like when I get angry, when I get really, really angry, like literally my house goes haywire. It does.
It's all that energy. Or like
Yeah.
try one night. My husband, he turned on. He wants to watch the same flipping movie every night when we go to bed, and I'm like, Matthew, I don't want to watch Hotel Transylvania every fucking night, Matthew. I don't. And I got so mad, and I'm like, you know what? I hope it does not work right now. He goes to turn it on, refused to even open up that app completely. I was like, yes. Every time I do that, the shows won't work on the TV.
Yeah, that's the same thing I do to my husband. When when he's playing this game, it's a racing game that I can't stand. I hate this game with a passion. Like, I know it's so bad, but I hate it. I hate it so bad. And I go to him, I'm like, you know what? I hope you lose all your cars. And I put my face all bent for again. And don't you know, literally, I walk away. He's like, I'm not even playing no more. I'm not even playing no more. I'm like, what's your problem? I didn't do anything to you. He's like, not what you did, what you said. Because now my game ain't working. I'm just done. I can't play no more.
Because you're powerful. It's your powerful intent, man. People don't mess with intuitives. Like, it's crazy what all that energy can truly do.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like I said, that's going back to the beginning of the show when we were talking about how, people can choose to take that energy. That energy, whether it be a physical behavior that they produce with that energy or a actual burst of energy from within, in a sense, and they don't understand that your body, like I said, is a conduit of so much energy. Your muscles are moving because you have electricity running through your body. There's your brain is constantly firing with electricity and sending signals and stuff like that. So when you have all that ramped up energy, it has to go somewhere. And it's like with me, I always get shocked. Like if I go and I touch anything, I'm getting shocked. Like that's it. I get shocked, and it hurts so bad. Like sometimes it hurts. I'm just like, I ain't touching nothing.
Yeah, it gloves like Elsa.
Yeah, that's what I have to do. My husband's like, he's like, I can't with you. He's like, I can't with you no more. So I'm like, all right, I can't either. I'm gonna go in my room. That's it.
I'm gonna go ground myself.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fun because my husband loves Hotel Transylvania. He will watch it all the time. All the time, too. He loves it. It's like I don't know, that movie speaks to a lot of guys up there,
I think it does.
That really do.
What's the other one? Despicable Me. I kid you not. We spent like a year every night in bed. He had to watch those two movies, one or the other. Otherwise, he claimed, well, I can't go to sleep. I'm like, bitch, you are such a liar. You are out like a light in like 5 minutes every night. You're so dumb. But you go to change it, and you bet your butt wakes up, I'm watching that. Get out of here. You were snoring. Freaking men. That thing.
That's the thing. It's amazing because it's like, people don't understand. We, as what we do, we have these same issues as everybody else. We don't walk around in friggin' cloaks and carrying like sacrificial knives and stuff like that. We don't do that stuff. That's not like that's not how it works. Yeah, like really, like they see us all coming and they're like, wait.
Harry Potter town.
Yes,
yeah,
I got that.
I love it. I love it. I'm down. I'm so down. I will be there.
Potter town.
They have that witch show. There's a new witch show that came out where they're like defending, I think, like the United States. I only watched like one episode, but it kind of reminds me of that. They like all band together and they're like saving the people.
Huh, that sounds cool.
I forgot what it's called.
I haven't had TV in like 2 months, so I'm out of the loop on TV.
That sucks.
But,
No, I'm guilty of rewatching all the same shows and movies. Like one of my favorite shows, I don't know if you guys heard of it, Life of the Party.
I haven't.
That's a really, it's about this older woman, and I can relate because when I went back to college, I was older. I wasn't like as old as the woman was in the movie, but I was old what happened was her husband winded up divorcing her. You know, everything was going bad for her, and she was only a couple of semesters away from graduating college, and she left to have her child with her husband who was leaving her. And so what she did was she took all of this and she motivated herself to go back to school to get her archaeology degree. And she was getting her master's degree in archaeology. And it was amazing because it just goes to show that no matter what struggles, what part of your life you're in, whatever it is, you know, you can still go back to school. You can still educate yourself. You can still follow that educational path. And so it really relates to me because it's like, wow, I didn't get to go back to college till, you know, about maybe 4 years ago. And that was because I had my children so early. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, I had to plan my life a little differently than what normal people would. And so I did that, and I started pursuing my career in psychology, which I'm still pursuing it. I'm actually trying to go for my master's. So it's amazing because it's so funny, it's so quirky, but it really puts a good point out there. And I guess I'm kind of like, that's my biggest, like, motive is, like, even with this show and having my guests and picking the topics, I really want to put points out there and make people understand that, you know what, we're all equally different, yes. We're all individuals, yes. But we all can come together if we really try and we really want to. That's a choice of ours, you know. So when we do the shows, what we do is we try to break barriers and we try to open that communication so people can understand that, you know, being Wiccan, being a pagan, being a spiritualist, being whatever you want to be doesn't mean this or the third. It just means that's who you want to be, who you choose to be, and where and what you choose to work in. You know, it's not saying that you're a Satanist. It's not saying that you're against God. It's not saying any of that stuff. You know what I mean? The bigger picture here is that light workers choose to work in the light in general. They don't choose to work in darker matters. So that's one of the things that I wanted to point out today in today's show is that people, you know, through a lot of misunderstandings, misconceptions, not being educated in things, not willing to just listen to a fellow person, you know, and be a human in a sense, and show love, compassion, non-judgmental, unbiased type of just, honestly, just pure listening skills. They don't do that anymore. And with that being said, you know, they tend to look at people like you and I who work with the light and we try to do things and they stigmatize it. And, you know, it's the same thing. Like I said, I had my awakening when I worked with, like I said, I was always gifted, but I had my awakening when I worked with a Himalayan monk who came to my school, and it was when I was in my world religion class, and I was studying theology and religion and philosophy. And, you know, he would come in and he would teach us how to meditate. And he was like, listen, this is completely up to you guys if you want to. I'm just showing you, you know, a lot of these type of, you know, practices are done worldwide. They're not really just secluded to the Himalayas. You know what I mean? And he really opened my eyes to the fact that, yeah, I've heard of other people meditating, but then you see them in these, like, certain garbs, and they look like they're just like, no, why do you have to put all that on just to do that? You know what I mean? So they really gave you that, and that's just people's choice, you know, and you don't see that, but you kind of tag that to the actual action, the meditation of it. You don't look at it as like, well, some people tend to meditate in yoga clothes or just in sweatpants and a shirt. Some decide to do it different ways. You know what I mean? And he really opened my eyes, and then we started doing the meditation, and we did group meditations. And it was a bunch of my fellow pupils, so I didn't feel, you know, I didn't feel uncomfortable. Nobody felt uncomfortable because we're all there to learn. We're all there to communicate, and we're all willing to do it. And it was amazing because, you know, I had an experience where I astraled to my sister's house, and I saw everything she was wearing. And then I went from my sister's house, and I went to my own house, and I said, if I get home, and I texted my husband, I was like, if I get home and my son is wearing what I saw him wearing when I was meditating, and on my bed instead of, you know, somewhere else, and he's in my room, yeah, there's something to this. And when I got home, sure enough, my son was exactly where I saw him, wearing the exact same clothes. And there's no
Like,
way
oh
that
my gosh.
yeah, so I was like, okay, I believe. I'm not gonna die no more. I'm not gonna hide it. Nope. And it opened my mind to understanding that it's more to there's more to things than just our own thoughts, our own opinions. There's so much more to it if we just open our mind and stop being so narrow-minded or closed-minded. Stop being so closed off. And that's pretty much like where my awakening and my understanding. Like I said, I always had the abilities, but people don't understand there's different level of spiritual gain. We talked about ascending, me and Katie on our other show, and we were talking about how ascending is like climbing a ladder that never stops. If you think the sky is the limit, then that's as far as you're going to go. But if you believe you can go beyond that and you can keep growing and going, well, you can. And that's what's so amazing about it. And when you guys are doing your spiritual work and your Reiki healing and things like that, you're taking all of that love and that energy and that non-judgmental, that non-biased, intent, and you're putting it to a use where you're actually, healing them from the inside out. It's not, putting a Band-Aid on something that's going on. You're starting to heal them deeper, and the healing is within, and it's starting to come out. And that's what people don't understand. And if you want, you could definitely explain about Reiki and your awakening as well.
Oh man, the awakening part, that was rough. The first one. So some people may think awakening is, must be something joyous and fun. Hunky-dory. No, man, it is like brutal. Like you're sobbing tears left and right. You don't even know why. When I went through mine, it was the busy season. It was holiday season, November, December, for truck driving. Me and my husband are truck drivers. We have our own truck and stuff. So I had to go to work. I was working every day in the truck, minus like a day to reset or whatever. And holy crap, I'd be going down to wherever I was going, like Yuma. Oh, Yuma was the worst one. So I'm driving down to Yuma, and I'm just going along, and all of a sudden I'm just like, just like, why? Like, why am I crying? And I'm trying to drive, and I'm like, and it's just a whole bunch of headaches that do not go away. I mean, I'm talking about like debilitating headaches where you're down. It makes your stomach hurt. Nothing helps. Absolutely nothing. What else? You feel sick. You just
a lot of emotions,
questions and emotions,
and you wonder if it's really like, are you really doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, am I
this
crazy?
is all bullshit. Yeah,
this is all lie. I'm making it all up. It's rough. But
then you get past it and you're like, holy shit, man! I feel like I've just like eaten a mushroom and I've powered up. I'm like Super Mario. You're like, cool. So you just keep going. And then, so after we went into psychic mediumship and stuff, I always wanted to be a veterinarian growing up. I wanted to be Dr. Dolittle. I wanted to talk to animals. I wanted to help animals. But after looking at the schooling and what veterinarians have to do, I'm like, I cannot hurt an animal. So along our journey, we've been taking classes online. And I came across Reiki healing, and I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. It's all positive energy. It's all about healing. There's no pain. I don't have to stick an animal with a syringe, needle, or anything. It's all positive, and it's good for everybody. It's good for kids, pregnant people, elderly, plants. I mean, Reiki can be sent anywhere. It can be sent to
your
car.
phone too. Yeah, it's
so
no limit.
We found a practitioner here in town, and
you gotta tell her how we scared the shit out of her.
I don't think she was prepared for psychic mediums. She's okay with Reiki healing, but not with the other part of spiritualness. And yeah, she was left a little unhinged, I think. But that's where we got our Reiki 1 and 2, right?
Tell her about when, so when we got attuned the last time, she had a beautiful friend that was passing away basically at that moment. Yeah. And she's like, you know, let's all send Reiki to him. He's going to, you know, make him like kind of hold on a little bit longer, make the process easier. So we're all practicing sending Reiki. Then she does the attunement, the final attunement. And during that attunement, I swear I saw her friend with wings. And I know like when we go to heaven, we don't have wings. But to me, getting into this, wings are like, hey, you're passing away. And during that attunement, I noticed her looking at her phone. Like I would kind of like open up my eye a little bit because I can't just sit there. And I saw her look at her phone. And then she got a little uncomfortable after the attunement. And she's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to my room really quick. She came back and she always asked us, what did you see during that attunement? I did not want to tell her. And I was like, you know, this sounds really weird, but I swear I saw your friend with wings and that he passed on. And her face kind of went like, what the hell, that this girl's crazy. And after I told her what I saw, she's like, I want to let you know, during that attunement, my friend, I got word that he passed away during this meditation. And she's like, wow. She gave me this crystal for protection before we left, this big old crystal. She's like, you need this more than me. And I'm like, what? Thanks. She was I think she was terrified of us. We kept picking up on the other classmates past Dad. Every meditation, I would see these spirit. Christina would feel them too. And I don't feel she was ready. I forgot what her husband's like a pastor or something.
Yeah.
But I sent a lot of our clients to learn Reiki to her because Christina wasn't a master yet. And a few of them said, when she asked, oh, how'd you find me? And they said, oh, the 2 sisters. And they're like, she was definitely a little uncomfortable. Like, oh, it's those 2. But Reiki's beautiful. Yeah. Christina became a Reiki master. Was it Lumerian Reiki?
Oh, yeah. So there's the traditional Usui holy fire
Tell
Reiki.
them how you channel that energy through you.
Okay, so
it's different.
Is it different? I thought Reiki was the same.
I'm gonna bring up quantum Reiki. It's way different.
Okay. I haven't taken quantum Reiki yet. That's on the books. But the Usui holy fire, how we were taught was that the healing energy comes down from source or God or whatever you believe in, comes through your crown chakra, and it'll come out your hand chakras. So that energy is flowing. So you're just being like a little conduit, sending it to whoever or wherever through time, through space. I've sent it when I first started. I was like, okay, well, I'm not too sure how this is all going to work. I was still pretty questionable. But this one little girl, she was in, I think, New York City, and her mom said, hey, this lady's going to send you Reiki. Close your eyes, lay down, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I got started, and I don't even think I was sending it in video at that time. I think I was just telling her, I'm going to start now, and I'll send it for 30 minutes. She came back to me, and she's like, my daughter thought you were right next to her the entire time. She felt your presence next to her, and she had to tell her, no, she's in Arizona.
Totally different
so
area.
I'm like, oh my God, mind blown. Like, this shit's real. It's crazy. And the feelings, every Reiki session will be different. I make a video now where I'll send it on a live video through a Facebook private events for the person I'm doing it for. And then I leave it up for an entire week so they can watch it as much as they want. But every time you watch it, it's going to be different because Reiki flows to where you need it most, whether it's the physical pain that you have or the emotional pain or spiritual, wherever you need it most. And a lot of times the pain that we have, the physical pain we have, actually comes from suppressed emotions. So sometimes you may not feel the actual pain going first. You'll feel something deeper inside. You'll feel warmth. You'll feel tingling. You'll see colors. What else? Just an overwhelming sense of peace and calm.
Oof.
Yeah, or like
It's
a
different.
subwoofer.
Sometimes you can feel
Very drained
ill after, but it's, if you drink a whole bottle of water, you're usually pretty good. It's almost like a detox.
Yep.
When we were attuned, I told Christine, I was like, I don't want to go to that class today. And she's like, why? And I'm like, I've had diarrhea since yesterday, nonstop. I was like, I don't feel good. And I ended up going, and as soon as like the little Reiki instructor, she's like, you know what, you're going to be fine. It's because you're getting attuned, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
All of that just
Negative.
went away. I was like, what the hell?
It's all the negative energy and just negative stuff leaving your body. It's a
good thing. You're purging.
Yeah, purge.
Right.
And go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying right, and what people don't understand is that this is a form of holistic medicine in so many different ways.
Shaman use it all the time. Indians have used it all the time.
Psychic surgery.
Yes, psychic surgery is like freaking insane. The one author, it's Lois Hay, right? Louise,
Yeah.
whatever. Hay. She, I was reading her book, or it was something, and she had, was it cancer or something, like with her ovaries or something? She did that psychic surgery and completely gone.
Like she went to the doctor and they said, "Where
What
is this
happened?"
cancer? It was here and now it's gone."
Right.
It's all about intent and energies.
It works, and whoever you're, who you want to channel to help you. I am, what is it called? Certified in advanced angelic healing, where I use the angels. I literally have my client lay down in their bed, and I say, hey, just, you're going to receive some of this healing. You might feel a little weird, but I'm like, just go with it. And I literally will picture them in a completely white room, with all these pillars and the archangels, spirit guides, and it's almost like you put their soul in a heavenly area. And during that, I incorporate Reiki as well, because eventually, once the angels are doing their thing and the archangels, we're told to step back and just kind of like let them do their thing. I just got certified in quantum Reiki. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's way, like, no offense to traditional Reiki, it's so much better, you guys. Usui Reiki, the traditional, is meant for 3D and lower type of atmosphere. Right now, we're about to hit 5D, fifth dimensional, fourth dimensional. Quantum Reiki, you literally put your hand out and you say, love energy source, I want you to manifest right here. And it will manifest into a ball. And you put out your other hand and you can say, love energy, I want you to transfer. And you literally will feel it transfer. And you put that into your client or distantly. And I've done it to one. I've just got certified, so I've only practiced with one person. And she was like, it was really weird. She's like, it felt a lot stronger than the traditional. So that's something a lot of people I feel should look into that are into Reiki, to mesh the two Reikis together, because it amplifies the old Reiki. And why not? I mean, if you can do it better.
I
There's no wrong way.
Like I incorporate crystals,
Crystal
sigils, crystal grids. Every time I do
prayers.
Reiki, I do something different. I don't know. I'm always like, well, let me add this, or let me not do that, and let me do this over here.
You're more powerful too. With your intent, that is your biggest magic. There literally, you guys, is no wrong way to do your magic, to do your healing. Trust your gut. It's your spirit guides guiding you. I promise you, they're not going to send you in the wrong direction. I do spell work, and I always cast a circle, and my guides always have me walk 3 times one way to open, and then when I close, I walk 3 times the opposite way. I've never been taught any of my spell work. I'm reading a book about spell work, and they literally say, have your circle walk 3 times one way to open and then the opposite to close. So always trust your gut, trust your spirit guides. They're never going to send you to the wrong direction. Everybody is different. There's no wrong way to do any of your work that you do.
And they're non-judgmental.
Yeah.
Judgmental.
They're awesome. Get to know your spirit guides.
Yeah.
They'll give you little signs on the radio. They'll make you notice things like animals. Whenever you randomly see an animal, look up that spiritual meaning. There is a reason why you are seeing it.
Praying mantis.
What do you mean praying mantis? I had a little gecko on me the day that I was attuned for the quantum Reiki. It climbed up my leg, and wildlife does not come to me this way. It climbed up my leg, up my shirt, sat on my collarbone for like 20 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to look this up later. This is weird. And it meant like new beginnings, energy. It was everything that I was going through. So always look up those animals and bugs when you guys see them.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like with me, with my abilities, I can actually work with animals. I can feel them. I can read them. I can.
Love it.
I definitely can, and it's really crazy because people don't they don't think of this, but this is why I'm so good at what I do, because I actually do and have worked with animals. And people will say, oh, well, how do you know he's not feeling well? I'm like, well, because he told me. Well, what do you mean he told me? Well, I could tell. His behavior tells me, and I have to kind of figure out, like, well, how do I reword that? Because a lot of people, like I said, are very judgmental. Their mindset is really, really narrow. And because their mindset is so narrow, they don't understand. But animals speak. They speak in their own way. They speak through behavior. They speak through gesture. They speak through looks. Their eyes tell you, their story. So they speak to me. And it's really amazing because I actually have a little chipmunk friend who's completely wild. I didn't raise it. I didn't do anything with it in the sense of rehabilitation or anything. But he's just out in my yard. He was he came from a batch of 3. His brothers and sisters are out there too, running around. But he'll come to me every morning and he'll sit by me and he'll put his little hands up like this to me. And he'll tap me on my foot, and then I'll go in the house, and I'll get him some fruit, and I'll bring him some fruit out, and then I'll give him some seeds, and he's happy. But he'll do this throughout the day, and he'll come looking for me. He actually walked in my house a few times looking for me. And he's like, well, I didn't see you today, so I was just checking on you, but hey, can I have some treats? And he'll sit on my lap without a problem. He'll sit in my kid's hands without a problem. He'll let us pet him without a problem. And this is a wild animal. So I've had always been able to connect with animals on a different level. And a lot of the times people don't put the 2 and 2 together, that a lot of times with individuals that have abilities, they tend to connect with nature in different ways. They'll have animals come to them when they're in need or when they need something. All of a sudden, this animal will just fall out of the sky. I'm like, oh, my God, I don't even know where it came from, but I rescued him. He's my buddy. Well, there's a reason behind it. You know what I mean? There's a bigger reason. But we're going to take our first break, and we'll get back to it in a few minutes. See you guys soon.
Cool.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show, I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. I'm not big places. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got a friend in low places. I guess I was wrong, I just don't belong. But then, I've been there before. Everything's alright, I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door. Hey, I didn't mean to cause a big scene. Just give me an hour and then I'll be as high as that ivory tower that you're living in. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got a friend in low places.
It's okay. to just-
Hello, and we're back. Welcome
It
back.
is possible, but people aren't there yet.
Yeah.
That's all. Kind of like I've
Welcome
grown
back, guys,
like,
to Goddesses and Devils with your host, Mcmanus and Katie Kamara. We have right now Christopher Wayne Fisher, my best friend on the queue right now, and we have Jacqueline and Christina, and of course, my love, Katie. So we're here and we're discussing all types of fun things, and I know that we've been experiencing a lot of technical difficulties, but I promise you guys we will have a clear copy of this up and going, and we will host a watch party for all you guys to enjoy. So with that being said, let's get back to it. So we were just...
I do. I will say that I will be in another location next week.
Yes, Katie is, listen, if anybody doesn't know, she is a time jumper. So right now it looks like she is in Hawaii. So...
nice.
Oh, that's where I want to be right now.
Right? Heck yeah. Ocean, beach, tropical, brand the Mai Tais.
So we were talking all about how healing from within can actually promote you. And this is a holistic way of healing. It's called Reiki healing. So if many people don't understand, there is something out there that medical doctors do recommend patients trying when all things fail. It's called biofeedback, right? So biofeedback is a technique that you can learn to control your body's functions. So it helps you slow down your heart rate. It helps you calm your anxiety. It helps you change your mindset, and it helps you to promote better relaxation. So whatever you're going through, whether it be, like I said, your heart rate or your stress level, sometimes they actually have you work with that in other situations as well, depending on how severe your situation is. And biofeedback is pretty much a last resort when doctors pretty much are at the point where they're like, we've tried everything else, let's try this now. So Reiki healing is actually a form of biofeedback. And Christina was explaining, and so was Jacqueline, how Reiki healing is done and how does it promote healing. So we're just going to jump right back into that. Now, I know you guys are talking about how you transfer that energy that you get from within and you transfer it out into a patient or a client, whatever they want to be referred to, because I know some people prefer to be a patient or some people prefer to be called a client. Now, when you do that, what you're doing is you're actually helping that individual calm their mind, understand their body, and work with their natural self. And that's a biofeedback technique. So Reiki healing definitely does fall into a biofeedback. It can also help with reducing pain. So people who have pain, situations turn to Reiki healing, where this can help promote the relaxation and calming of that actual pain through these healing techniques.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, when you guys work on clients with the Reiki, do you do it in sessions, or is it it depends on the situation? Because I know with certain situations, people go through a process of Reiki healing because it takes kind of like different attempts to actually get to the root or to help start promoting that swing of things to where it starts the healing process. Now, is that with all cases, or is it with some cases that happens with?
I don't know. I leave it up to the person to come back to me. I figured that way, because I leave it open for a week, so they could watch every day multiple times over the week. Whether they do or not, that's up to them. I just tell them, hey, this will be up. Watch as much as you like. Do they always watch every day? No, I don't think so. And I tell them, every experience will be different. Every time that you watch the same video, it will be different. And when you're ready, if you want to book another session with me, then you certainly can, and it'll be something like that. Or, in-person Reiki is obviously going to be a bit different because you're just doing it in person and just for that day. I have had a few different reoccurring people, and yeah, she came a long way. The first time I saw her, it was like an empty shell. It was horrible, and I knew she was hurting. And I did in-person Reiki for her, and for some people, I think in-person is better. They like to have that confirmation that you are there and doing it, I think. That's why I kind of started doing the videos, because then that way they can see, if they happen to open their eyes, distantly, that I am there and I am in the video doing it. But she was a reoccurring client or patient, and you could see after every session better and better. But again, it's up to that person to keep coming back, because the more open you are to healing and receiving healing, the better the healing process is going to be. If you're closed-minded and closed off from it, only a little bit is going to trickle
push
in.
it away.
Yeah. So
with mine, though, it's only one. They usually, I don't think I've had reoccurring where they're like, hey, I need another one, but I do my healings different because I do the angelic healing with the Reiki. But I don't get clients that have like massive issues. Christina will get clients that have big issues. The ones I help are more emotional issues where they're like, I want my ex back. I can't get him off my mind. It's tearing me apart. And I did an angelic Reiki healing session with her And she actually texted me recently, and she's like, you know, I just want to let you know, those few months ago, you basically like saved me. I feel completely different now. So it depends from person to person, really.
Right. That and see, that's amazing because people believe that when and this, like I said, this is another misconception of things. People believe that, okay, well, when we're doing a healing session, you have to keep coming back or you have to this. No, it's up to them entirely to feel whether or not they need another session, whether or not they want to try a different approach with that session. And that's the good thing. Because when people go to a doctor, right, a lot of times their doctor doesn't listen to them. So a lot of their their complaints and their feelings go unheard or unnoticed because of the simple fact that doctors feel that they are above a lot of times the patient's complaint, and they know everything. That's why they're the doctor, and they wear the white coat, and you're on the table. Which, I've actually, I've had doctors like that before who couldn't figure out, there's, maybe, one doctor told me when I wasn't feeling well, and it turned out that I winded up having to go through a major surgery about 2 months after that, because I kept coming to him, telling him, look, I'm having this pain. This doctor, which I don't remember their name, this doctor told me, well, you know what I think you need, honestly? I think you need some time away from your husband and your children and your family, and I think you just need some me time. Yeah, and so my husband turned around and looked at this doctor and was like, excuse me, what did you just say? And she was like, yeah, I think she needs a break from you guys, and I think that will make her feel a lot better. He was like, how does that have to do with the pain in her stomach? Like, are we, like, I don't think you're understanding what she's saying and what's going on. And they wouldn't listen to me, and it turned out that my gallbladder winded up becoming infected and inflamed and enlarged, and the feelings that I was having prior to my actual surgery and when I went to this doctor was I was feeling body aches. I wasn't feeling what would be I was feeling the pain in the stomach, but I wasn't feeling everything that is a classical symptom of somebody suffering from an issue with their gallbladder, right? And the thing is that I was feeling tired, I was feeling exhausted, I was feeling just run down, I was feeling like crap, like shit. And that was their solution, because they were like, oh, well, your blood work came back fine. Okay, but what does that have to do with anything? Did you do any other diagnostic tests to see what's going on? No, you didn't. And so they came to the conclusion that I was just stressed because of, normal life occurrences, of being a mom, being
and they do that a lot with women. It's all the time. Oh, it's stress. Get out of here.
Right. No, stress is a big factor in everybody's life. It doesn't mean if men equally feel stress. Men suffer from stress a lot of the time silently, and they're not as vocal about it as women are. But everybody has that stress. That is natural stress that life, unfortunately, puts on you. And it's up to you as the bearer to decipher whether or not you're going to allow this to affect you further. And a lot of times, because people don't have that outlet, they don't have that doctor, they don't have a therapist, they don't have a friend, they don't have anybody that they feel they can talk to, a lot of times they suffer in silence with these issues. That's why mental health in general needs to be better observed by the medical community and by people in general. This is why we're seeing things like the suicide line hotline being displayed all over the place. You know what I mean? Because people have ignored people for so long that they're like, well, wait a minute, this is a problem. Well, yeah, it is a problem. But this is what we owe to society as medical care professionals, is to listen to our patient. Maybe we might learn something. So I made it a point whenever I worked in the medical field, even from the beginning since I started, that I would listen to my patient. If my patient told me, I feel like I'm going to die, well, you better believe that I had everything ready in case that's exactly the path they were going, if they were going to crash on me. People know their bodies. Women know their bodies. Men know their bodies. And if a patient is telling you that something is not right, then they should listen. But unfortunately, sometimes it does become a mental health issue, or it does become an issue where they need spiritual healing versus actual medical healing. You know what I mean? And that's why holistic medicine and naturopathic medicine is so important, And naturopathic medicine, has been practiced through the dawn of time, and yet here we are starting to recognize it again as something that can be productive in people. Changing your diet, changing your intake. What are you putting into your system? People say that people who are empathic, when they're eating meat, that's why a lot of them go vegetarian. When they're eating meat, they're feeling the pain of that animal. They're feeling the animal's fear. And that's why a lot of them choose to go and become a vegetarian. And so there's a lot to it. But if we stop with all that semantics and nonsense and we start listening and being non-judgmental and being open-minded, things like this can promote a big swing in the way people mentally and physically feel about themselves. And unfortunately, holistic medicine is not appreciated. It's more practiced out west than it is here on the north where we're from. You don't see a lot of holistic medicine being done, but out west they still practice it pretty good out there. They have a great school in Arizona, a great university.
We have a lot of like acupuncture, Reiki. Reiki is blowing up everywhere in a lot of spas, facial spas. One of our clients, Rosalinda, she's so sweet. She got certified for Reiki, and she does it when she's doing those facials and those, I don't know if you call it ablations, whatever it is that she's doing. She adds Reiki to it. It is becoming more and more acceptable. The other thing too, affirmations and telling yourself, like, I think we said her name's Lois Hay. She has a self-healing book. And you literally can look up your issue that you have. So say like it's anxiety. It'll tell you exactly where it affects your body, and an affirmation to tell yourself multiple times a day. And I kid you not, I have a beautiful friend in South Africa. She uses that book, and she will pick out exactly what I'm feeling, exactly what's going on, and she will embed, there's the book, she will embed that affirmation into my soul, into my body. She'll give an example. Let's see. We'll give you guys anxiety. That way you can kind of get an idea. And this is healing your body. This is what she did to heal her body when she was going through that, I think we said it was cancer, a big issue. So anxiety is
not trusting the flow in the process of life. And the affirmation is, I love and approve of myself, and I trust the process of life. I am safe.
And you'll say that. I always tell people, my guides always say, and I know it's not the same for everyone, it's a big thing with the big three. They're like, no, you don't have to do things in threes. Yes, you do. My guides always say yes. So I tell my clients, say this affirmation 3 times, sit in your bed, take really deep breaths, and feel that affirmation. And it can literally change. Like if you're having a anxiety breakdown and you can sit down, you can do the deep breaths and say that, you feel a lot better afterwards, rather than I don't even take medication anymore for my anxiety. I do this and it helps me much better. Not saying that's the same for everybody. Medication definitely can help people, but in a spiritual way, I have healed my anxiety through Reiki, through affirmations and crystals, where I do not need pharmaceuticals.
I was just going to say, I'm just about to study my PhD in integrated medicine, so of alternatives. So, but in a non-clinical setting. So I know all about what you're trying to say, and the thing is that with everything combined, a lot of people find it unacceptable. The problem is that you have mind, body, and soul. Most people only concentrate on the body because that's where they think that everything belongs. I mean, we live in a human vessel, but once the vessel dies, it's no longer our problem. But what happens to the soul? And what happens if our mind is out of whack? And that's the problem, is that someone who is like me, who's just about to become a doctor in this stuff, and I say this only lightly because, I'm not going to go into depth about a career, a profession in it. But the thing is that when do we lose our way? We're so used to having temporary fixes to every problem. Doesn't matter whether it's a soul problem, doesn't matter if it's a mind problem, doesn't matter if it's a body problem. We're so used to temporary fixes, and therefore we look for the most fastest, quickest, effective solution to fix our problems. It's like somebody who has cancer. Somebody who has cancer is only going to will get whatever cancer out of my body. It's not going to help me. But the problem is the psychological reactions, not just physiological, but psychological reactions that go with it. And then, of course, you having to face the fact that you could possibly die from this. And so there are numerous studies showing that people who do have cancer can actually change the body's physiology in order to heal itself. Our bodies are natural healers. So yeah, I do understand when people say that they're not taking any pharmaceutical medications anymore. I get it. I totally get it. In fact, the only thing that I take, and I refuse to take medications, is aspirin.
Yep, Advil for the headaches.
I have aspirin for migraine. I get oral migraines.
Try, and I'll text it to you, Blue Gold Stone. When I started, and I know it sounds crazy, when I started all of this spiritual journey, you get a lot of migraines when you're awakening. And my guides showed me Blue Gold Stone, and they said, hey, put this in your bra or put it on your third eye. Sit by yourself for 30 minutes and just like breathe. I kid you not, when I have migraines and I hold that Blue Gold Stone, within about half an hour, 95% of the time it completely disappears. I feel that there are natural ways to heal yourself where you're not, what's that? Oh, do you want to explain that? Christina actually just looked up what causes migraines.
It says dislike of being driven, resisting the flow of life. Sexual fears can usually be relieved.
Just say it
down and dirty with yourself.
Oh my God.
But then, the affirmation is, I relax into the flow of life and let life provide all that I need easily and comfortably. Life is for me. It says,
does not
see
work.
headaches. But when we go on to more of the, as far as headaches goes, for the ascending headaches, there is another option. Headaches. Invading the self and self-criticism, fear. I love and approve of myself. I see myself and what I do with eyes of love. I am safe. That is from the Heal Your Body book.
I'll send her.
And it's kind of like a little list of just every page.
Affirmation.
Pretty much the whole book. Yeah, different affirmations for every possible thing. But
I'll take a picture.
Well, a lot of this was actually put out there in about the, I would say, about 1845, 1877, somewhere around there. Probably a little longer. I'm lying. So this is probably like 1880, so late 1800s. This was put out there where we actually had one of the founding fathers of holistic spiritual healing medicine. He was a psychic. He was an intuitive. I'm sure you guys heard of Edgar Cayce.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I have.
So Edgar Cayce, he was born in March 18th of 1877, and Edgar Cayce was and this is his bio in a sense, a short bio of him. So he was an American clairvoyant who channeled answers to questions on subjects as for various healing, reincarnation, dreams, the afterlife, past lives, the city of Atlantis, and he would do this through sleep. So he would actually be in a hypnotic sleep, but he would be saying these things to people. So they actually have a whole Edgar Cayce institution, and it's called the EdgarCayce.org. It's Edgar Cayce Association for Research and Enlightenment, where they where Edgar Casey started understanding that mind, body, and spirit holistically go together. And he put that out there. So back then, this is where you were starting to see a lot of the different types of psychoanalytic type of psychologies coming out, behavioralism type of psychologies. You saw Freudian beliefs coming into play. It's about the swing of things then is when you started seeing stuff like that in the psychological field, well, in psychology alone, starting to make its way out there. Edgar Casey, because he was a clairvoyant, not a lot of people really respected him. But what's being understood now is that Edgar Casey, through his work, his techniques, and the way that he expressed how to do these things, he was a sleeping prophet in a sense. So when he would do these things, he would teach these things to his followers and his students and so forth, and they continued his legacy. And he actually has a very long legacy. My father actually, states to this day that Edgar Casey helped save his life. And my dad actually started getting into hypnotherapy and starting getting into holistic medicine. My father's actually a naturopathic doctor. So, yeah, and he started really diving into spiritualism and things like that. And I saw this transformation in him when I was younger. And this happened to be, like I said, around 5, 6 years old, where I noticed it. He probably was on this journey for a little while. But my dad was in medical school, and he just switched the trajectory of everything and went to holistic medicine, where he would use things like gumfrey, valerian, dandelion roots. He would use all different types of holistic approaches to clear infections, common colds, so forth, so on. And he also would take an Edgar Casey approach to things in the sense of mind, body, and soul, so mind, body, and spirit. And that's really, really amazing how your author there, Lois Hay, actually was using affirmations to promote this, where Edgar Casey was using his prophet abilities, his clairvoyancies, and to promote these. So we can see a trend, where people were understanding that this is something that helps, but because the medical aspect of things from the biological level and psychological level started coming into play, where modern medicine as we know it started to evolve, we started seeing these things actually wean out. And when that was happening, what we were doing is we were leaving our roots. See, we were taught this, since the dawn of time.
Oh, yeah.
We started ignoring it because, like Katie said, we wanted a quick fix, so we turned to alternative things. And
there's always side effects.
And money.
Yeah.
No side effects to affirmations, to healing codes, other than like maybe diarrhea with Reiki. That's really like the only side effects sometimes.
And none of those create money.
Yeah.
Right.
Certain people. So
exactly. It's all about healing and helping people. And that's what you guys do. You guys help people. And that's why you guys are such an inspiration, because, people look to you, like I said, in their darkest times because their doctors ignore them. Their husbands or wives ignore them. Their family members, their friends, everybody ignores what's going on. But to these people, these are things that are really, truly happening to them, and they know it. And the only other way is to get out of the regular, modern medicine and go to an alternative medicine, which is holistic healing.
100%.
Right. And, and we see that. That's why, like I said, there's a lot of misconceptions on the whole subject, because they're like, oh, it's witchcraft. You see the witchcraft trials in Salem where they would hang people. And this was just like, are you guys, like, really, seriously, when you look at it and you look back at all this hate and this chaos, you figure out what the real problem is. And the real problem is being uneducated, not being open-minded, being judgmental,
being
scared,
programmed,
scared,
like nothing against like churches, but they program people to be terrified of all of this, and it's not terrifying. Mary Magdalene, she healed people. She was literally a mystic, but you don't hear churches talking about that. You don't hear them talking about how she helped go around and heal people with Jesus. She helped a good amount, but people don't know that.
Well,
and
that's
it
the
blows
thing.
my mind.
Yeah, that's the thing. We only want to hear and know what we want to know and hear, and that's where we become dull and uneducated. See, when you become educated in the sense of you have to be very optimistic. You have to look at things from all angles. You can't look at it from one-sided, angle, because you're not going to learn anything. If you really want to learn something, you have to open your eyes and ears, sit back, be quiet, and listen, and
Be an
look.
open vessel.
Right, and that's the only way that you're able to get, to get all this information the way that you need to process it, and the way you need to understand it, and the way that it comes across. Because when you're hearing it from a friend, it gets misinterpreted. When you're hearing it from whomever, it gets misinterpreted. So not only are you guys helping people and healing them, you're also teaching them and helping them to cope with the fact that things like this are not evil, it's not bad, because, like I said in the beginning of the show, we had in the Bible prophets. Edgar Casey was a prophet. We have individuals who work within the church who are prophets of the Lord. These are abilities, and these are psychic clairvoyancy. These are abilities to receive that message. But when it's not the message that people really want to hear in the way they want to hear it, it becomes evil. It becomes, misconception. Like I said, with the woman that I saw that was doing the activation of the moon, it was to do a global healing. It wasn't to do anything to be negative or to be vindictive or try to create a covenant or cult or whatever the case may be. It was nothing like that. It was just her using nature, affirmations, and that's what people don't understand either. The spells are literally affirmations in a different context. That's exactly what it is.
Your intent. Same thing with sigils.
Exactly.
Sigils are very misunderstood. So many people, I send my clients sigils all the time. And I'm like, write this on your body, write it on paper. You can even burn it outside. And a handful are like, well, this is a really scary looking symbol. And I tell them, I promise you, I ask my spirit guides before I even give it to you, is this safe to use? Is this positive? Is it good for this person? And stuff like that, all these things in that intent are so powerful that if more people would do it, they would live a much happier life. I've never been this positive in my life since I've been doing this journey. It changes your life once you open up your eyes to everything.
Right. And when you live in a negative mindset, you generally feel horrible. You do. You feel sick all the time. You have headaches. You just don't feel right because
Why me?
Exactly. You're constantly creating this stuff in your mind, in your head. And when you have your mind out of whack with your body, out of whack with your soul, you cannot have a homeostasis. You can't have a perfect balance.
You create disease.
Right.
Diseases are dis-ease of the body. So if you have your body in harmony, you are not going to be as ill. I worked in education for 12 years. I was put on anxiety medication. I was put on sleeping pills. I could not handle the stress that I had working there. I was sick constantly. I left education to do this full time. I am not nearly as sick as I was when I was stressed out and whacked out of my mind with that normal type of job.
Right, because it's a high-pressure situation. You're dealing with individuals constantly who learn at different paces that, that because of their parents.
Man.
Well, I'm one of those parents. I'm going to be honest. I'm one of those parents. Like, if I don't like what you're doing with my kid, I am going to visit you in your classroom, knock on your door, be like, excuse me. Yeah, my kid came home and said this. What's going on?
Those parents are fine.
You know what I mean? Like, don't make me kick your ass. Like,
but the ones that are like, my kid, no, there's no way my kid did that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, we have evidence that your kid is doing this. And they want to blame us for their issues. And admin, I was a paraprofessional, so I wasn't a teacher, but I worked with students that weren't able to read. I worked with English language learners and SPED kids. And the parents, I'm not going to lie, they were rough, so rough. Even the teachers that I worked with, some of them were horrible. That's actually what made me leave education. The last teacher I worked with, she was horrendous. She treated me like a freaking slave. She was rude to me in front of the kids. And eventually I was like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm going to follow my spiritual path. And if I fall, I fall. If I fly, I'm going to soar. And everyone thought I was insane. They're like, you're leaving your job to go be a psychic medium. And I said, hell yeah, I am. And I'm going to do just fine. I have never felt better than I have been the last 2.5 years. It feels amazing.
And that's what we were saying earlier too. When you come into yourself and you get to be who you truly are and you stop denying yourself, that's when you start becoming a better person, a positive person, a happy person, because you're no longer holding yourself in this tight little bubble because everybody else might have an issue with the way you think. And see, and that's why with me personally, I say what I say. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, I may sound blunt a lot of times or mean or whatever. People may say whatever, but the truth hurts. And I live by the truth. I am going to give you my most honest and respectful thoughts, feelings, opinions to the situation as clear and as direct as possible, because I want that communication to be understood, that this is how I feel, or this is what's going on, or this is the situation. And unfortunately, people don't understand that when you have to pull yourself away from situations for the better of yourself, they look at you like, well, I'm doing this, why aren't you doing it? And it's like, well, I'm not you. So see you later. I got to do what I have to do to make me a better person, to make my life better, because nobody can walk in your shoes but you. That's why they're your shoes. You know, and if you're not comfortable in your skin, then what are you really living then? You're not. You're
exactly. What is your point? And so many people also, and I used to be this way horribly, like Christina mentioned, why me? Why me? There's something that you're meant to learn. My husband and I have been trying to conceive for over 8 years now with not single positive pregnancy test. And I really let it get to me. My little sister became pregnant and I just like broke down. I was happy for her, but I was so pissed. I'm like, why is it that she can get pregnant and I can't get pregnant? And I was such an angry person back then. And once you start realizing, you know, things are happening for a reason. I used to get mad at everyone that would announce that they were pregnant. That was my problem, not theirs. And you need to look at that. What is life trying to teach you from these things that are happening? And as soon as you do learn that and you overcome it, you'll notice like, hey, okay, I understand. I'm okay with this. I'm going to go with the flow, and life just falls into place.
Right. It's about accepting and understanding. Like I was recently, given a reading by a prophet who happens to be a religious prophet. And he said, you know, and he doesn't know me. I don't know him. And he said, you know, I feel like you hold onto a lot. I go, I do. I go, see, but the thing is, and he was right on the money. I can accept everything that was done to me. I just can't release it yet. I haven't got to that point yet where I'm ready to release it. And the reason is, like, I have to understand that I have no guilt or fault in any of the things that other people have done to me. I didn't do anything wrong to create these issues. This is issues created by them. And I accept that and I understand that. But how can I forgive you when you treated me this way? But, you know, it's a point of, when you're okay with yourself and accepting what's going on and you understand it and you're okay with yourself, then you start becoming in a position where you can let it go, and you're not forgetting it. You don't forget it, but you forgive them so that you can live to a better you. And that's 100%. What it's about. You know what I mean? And it really sucks that it took me so long to understand it. And I'm not quite there yet either. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm not quite there yet. I may have gotten there a little bit, but there's so much crap that I got to kind of just shovel out. You know what I mean?
That's
So it's
good,
like
though.
one
It's
shovel at a time.
baby steps.
Exactly.
People always want the big goal up here.
Right.
No, the baby steps will make it so much smoother and easier for you.
Right. And that's what people don't understand, that they just want results. You can't, it
Right
doesn't
now.
work that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Well, why not? Like,
Thanks
if
a
I had
lot,
the answer,
Amazon Prime.
yeah, if I had the answer to that, I'd be a millionaire right now. But I don't. So I'm sorry. This is who I am. This is where I got to be. This is what I got to do. You know, and that's exactly what it is.
The kind of market that for everything that you say, if there could be a penny made, then I'll be a millionaire right now.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme.
But then again, you know, I wish that it just helps you, just saying that kind of stuff, it just helps you push that little bit further into achieving your dreams.
Right. Right. It's like, you know, you go, you put your foot in the water, it's cold, you're like, no, let me put it a little further. No, let me get the rest of my leg in there. Okay, now I'm gonna move I'm gonna get my thighs, I'm gonna go to my hips, then I'm gonna jump in. You know what I mean? Some people are just really able to just jump right into things. But when you're self-healing, that's not how it works at all.
No.
It's not how it works.
Steps.
You know, you gotta kind of put your toes in the water. You gotta kind of just go little by little.
Feel it out.
Right, and you start, you know, it's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel wronged. It's okay to feel all that. But nobody owes you anything at the end of the day. So you need to owe it to yourself to want to live in that better mindset, to want to be healthier, to want to be an inspiration, to want and choose to live a better existence and to be who you are. So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, that's just the way it is. And we got about maybe 10 more minutes before we have to wrap it up. So if you want, can you tell everybody how they can reach out to you guys?
Oh, yeah, sure. Probably the easiest would be to go to our Facebook page, Mystic Sisters of the Desert.
Our long weird name.
No, I love your name, because
our name was a joke at first.
No.
We were making holy water and we were saying this little chant, and I'm like, Mystic Sisters, and we're like, of the desert, and we're like, how funny.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that was a spiritual message that you guys got, and you didn't realize it at the time, because you said that when all this stuff happened was out in Jerome, and Jerome is kind of like
Sedona.
Sedona, sorry.
We did both at the same time,
Yeah.
so
Right.
it could have been.
Oh.
But those are like dry, barren areas, right?
Oh yeah, they tell you never like take the rocks over there. It's a very, very spiritual place, both of them.
Right, and it looks like a desert almost area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Why is it that all the it's no pun intended to you guys, but why is that a lot of the spiritualists or people in the alternative all go to Sedona?
It is a massive, I guess you could say portal,
It's got
or vortex.
Five
I think it's
different ones?
more.
5 or 7 different
It's a lot.
vortex portals, and you'll see the trees actually are like really twisted in the area.
They grow
Lots
weird.
of energy.
Even at night, I went in February, and this is the first time this has ever happened. I wanted to go stargazing with my husband, and he's like, we're going to get attacked out there. Hell no. I'm like, no, come on. So we did. I kid you not. I think it's because that area is so amped up with energy. I heard the weirdest sounds, and I was like, oh my gosh, Matthew, it like sounds like aliens. I'm like, I'm hearing the weirdest pitches. He didn't hear any of it. A day later, one of our clients posted the sound of stars. I'll have to find it. It was so beautiful. It is exactly what I heard when we were out in the middle of nowhere in Sedona looking at the stars, the exact same pitches and tones. I was like, holy crap. So if you guys ever are in Arizona, you have to visit Sedona. The feeling is beautiful. Just honestly, do not buy crystals in Sedona. They rape you with the price of those. It's not. They like upcharge you like a mofo up there.
Like 4
Anything,
times.
even Reiki, it's like, man, a reading up there for half an hour is like $150. It's
Wow.
it blows your mind. So never get read up there. Never buy crystals in the Sedona area. It's
Well,
not
unless
worth
you,
it.
okay, so if you go right, you're going into the tourist trap area, okay?
Go
If you
the other way.
left, like in the actual town of Sedona,
They're okay.
It's
They're
fine.
not bad.
yeah, I'll definitely go and buy crystals there.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know what Sedona looks like. I've never been there, but I can see, like, and I'm not looking it up or anything like that, but I can see, like, red. There's a lot of red in there, like orange.
Red dirt, red rocks. The color of our tattoos, really, that we showed earlier. It's very, very beautiful.
Serene.
When you end this, look up pictures of Sedona, and I promise you'll be like, I need to be there one day
Yeah.
just to go.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's indescribable how you feel.
Well, and see, and that's the thing. It's like a desert area is what I'm picking up on, right?
Mhm.
And if you look at your name and how you said that you figured out your name, but your journey started there, your name was given to you in the
I
same.
love it. We never thought of it that way.
Look at it that way. Yeah, because that's what I'm getting. I know I don't do this very often, like I said, but
I
I felt like I
love
had to
it.
tell you that. That name was given to you guys for that particular reason, is that your journey began there. You're from the desert. Your journey pretty much started in the desert. The two sisters. So, yeah.
I love it. Thank you. I
You're
love
welcome.
seeing it that way. We always make fun of, well, I don't know if she does, but I always make fun of her name. I'm like, it's so long and like so weird.
Well, now you know why. You
I
know,
love it.
we're meant to have that name, and it's unique, and it was meant for you guys to have. So now, like I said, you're gonna go later, and you're gonna think about like, shit, I never.
Yeah.
figured it out. Yeah.
She's totally right, man.
Yeah, you'll see. And you know what? I think that, like I said, that you guys are amazing, and they can, so they can reach you on the, on your Facebook, right? That's the best way to reach you, or
Yeah, we
you or-
check our Facebook. I like literally work off of Facebook on our page, so I'm on it every single day. We do have a website, mysticsistersofthedesert.com, but that's really, we only have like some blogs to help you with like cleansings and stuff, and booking, but we share a lot of information on Facebook. We teach people, we do Facebook Lives. That is like a beautiful, positive learning community to learn, to connect with past loved ones, to receive life guidance. We do a lot of oracle pulls for everyone.
Sometimes free healings.
Yes, Christina does the Reiki healings for everybody. And some people are like, well, if there's 50 people, how are we all getting healed? Trust me, everybody gets the same amount of healing during those videos.
Well, how do we all fit in the universe? We just-
Exactly.
You just do. Oh, that's a good one.
And I was just going to mention to you guys too. Do you know that you're a part of the Yaya Sisterhood?
No, what's that?
Okay, I suggest, because we were talking about movies earlier on, go check out the movie The Divine Secrets, Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. But the Yaya Sisterhood, it's actually a book that was written back in the 90s that turned into a movie. And the Yaya Sisterhood actually translates to a group of 3 or more women whose hearts and souls are joined together by laughter, tears, shared through the glorious journey of life.
Aw, I text that
that's
to her so
beautiful.
we can go look that up after.
Yeah.
Go check it. You guys would absolutely love it.
Aw, we freaking love you guys. Yeah,
Well, like I
show's
said,
so beautiful.
I was like so super excited that I was just like talking out of my ass in the beginning because I was just like, yay, you're here. It's kind of like, when you have a play date, you know what I mean? And your friends come over and you're like, yeah, I'm so excited. What are we going to do first? You know what I mean? We could do some Cuisinarts,
Yes.
some macrame, whatever. But it's like, it was like that kind of feeling, but it was good because one of the biggest things that me and Katie like to do is it's not about exposure. It's about education. It's about understanding. It's about information sharing. It's about communication. It's about, breaking those barriers and connecting people to people. Hi, Daisy.
Dudley.
Hi, Dudley. That name
Dudley,
suits
right.
you. That name suits you. But that's what we do here. So we definitely, we love what you guys do. And like I said, my sister Stacy was following you guys, and she showed me
We
you
love
guys,
her.
and I was just like, wow, they're amazing. And you can feel the light and love coming from the both of you. You know what I mean? Just by the way that you express your work, you explain, even on your page, how you explain the things that you're doing even. You make it so that it's fun, but it's also informative and educational to people who may be new to this type of stuff, and it's okay.
We have a lot of movies.
Lots of
Yeah,
movies.
it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's amazing because more people are starting to wake up to the fact of just being humans. Just
I
being
think
people.
it's don't they call it the era of like the big awakening or something? Like there are so many people right now.
Aquarius for a long time now. Jeez.
It's gonna hit hard though. Honestly, September to November, a lot more people are going to be awakened. I guarantee it.
Well, it's a good thing because we really need to start remembering our roots and knowing that there is more things out there than our own self, and it has a lot to do with getting rid of that ego and that monkey mind and opening ourselves up to being humanistic. And that's what me and Katie are. We're humanistic. We look at things from a humanistic standpoint. We are humane. We are caring. We are humanitarians. I fight for animal rights. I fight for people rights.
So beautiful.
But in doing so, I also help them. It's one thing to stand on the fence saying that you're an advocate, but it's another to actually stand in the crowd with them and help them. And
it takes a lot of balls to do what you do.
It's really hard. And you know what? It's like I said, it's because we want to promote what we know is out there, the good in everybody. So with that being said, I am Amanda with Katie Kamara as your host on Goddesses and Devils. We had a great show tonight. Please check them out. They can tell you one more time where you can find them. Go ahead, girls.
Mystic Sisters of the Desert at Facebook.
Definitely check them out. They are great. I am sorry for any inconvenience that we may have caused you with the delay in the feed or the buffering or the cutting in and out. We are going to put out a copy, and we will do I guess we could do a share or watch, right, Katie?
Yeah, we could do a watch party. I can do a live premiere up on YouTube. I can do all of that jazz. It may not be up until tomorrow morning, only because I do have another show in about 40 minutes. So I won't be able to use the computer to do the technical stuff to put it all back together again. So just hold your horses.
Be with you. Katie's a whiz.
Don't worry. I've actually got two. My Wednesday show did the same thing. So I'm not sure whether I know it's not internet problems. So I think it may actually be my computer. My processor may not be functioning properly right now. So I've got to really get onto it and have a look at it.
Yeah. Donkey Kong it.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be up and running with this great show.
Tomorrow morning I'll get up early anyway. I've got to do some more broadcasting tomorrow. So it's fine. On a daily basis. It doesn't matter.
All right, so Katie, do you want to bring us out with one of our I'm sorry, but I was feeling country. I don't know. Country.
I liked the vibe.
Yeah, I was in a country mood. Sometimes I'm in a rock mood. Other times I'm in a country mood. Sometimes I'm in a between moods. So I mean, this today felt like a country day.
We're in, Amanda and I, we vibe completely different. We're the eccentric, strange ones. like it's okay. We that's what we do. But what I'll do for those who are listening to, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Even though this show will be up tomorrow morning on a Sunday morning rather than this evening, I will by all means subscribe. Press the little bell button thingy bobby, the notification button. Go press that so that you can be notified of all the live shows that we have. Until then, you have a lovely weekend. Of course, I'll be putting out a good song right now for everybody to listen to. But on top of that, listen to us next week, Saturday, Goddesses and Devils, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Global Enlightenment Radio Network, brought to you by Soma Fusion.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mwah.
I like this song. Oh,
You know, Jensen Ackles sings this, the guy who did Supernatural.
oh, yes.
I love
Wow, this song is awesome. I can speak now, right?
Yeah, we're gonna play the other song.
it. Nope, I love this song.
Hang on. I
No,
like this
play-
song better.
No, play this one.